Like he mentioned, I'm Harguneet, and I am right now standing in front of you just before lunch, so I can completely understand. Let's get started. I'm not going to take too much of your time. If you have any questions, please walk over. Feel free to ask anything, or I'm here till tomorrow evening as well. So questions are always welcome. We'll start with two fun facts. When was the first prototype for AdSense created and by whom? Anybody know the answer? Cool. So it was 1998 by Gilad Elbis and Adam Weissman. Even I didn't know this till I saw this deck. So, what was AdSense called before it was renamed to? Well, obviously AdSense. Any guesses? Okay. There's a mug up for grabs. Anybody want to take a guess? Cool. It used to be called applied semantics. Yes, that is true. This is the agenda. What is Google AdSense? How does Google AdSense work? Key benefits of Google AdSense, AdSense policies, features, and other publisher solutions. So before we start, let me just introduce myself. I'm Harguneet Singh, and I work with the online partnership group, which basically works with publishers. This includes publishers online, which is basically desktops. We also work with mobile phones, people who have mobile websites, sites for tablets, and all sorts of online presence. So what is Google AdSense? It's a flexible, hassle-free way to make money. So basically, if I'm sure all of you own multiple websites, so basically you can show Google ads based on the content on your site, and you can actually earn revenue from the same. So basically, whenever somebody clicks on the ad, or for every 1,000 impressions, there's a certain amount that we charge the advertiser, and we have a split that we pay out to publishers as well. So this is primarily how it works. Earn most revenue from all your inventory. Most people think that AdSense is primarily only for websites, but that is not true. AdSense works really well with websites, works well with mobiles, mobile sites, video inventory. A lot of people don't know that we actually have a product called AdSense for video. We also have a product called AdSense for games. So basically, if you have any kind of a Flash player, it works really well in that. Not to get too technical, I'll just go to the next one. So how does AdSense work? So AdSense is basically a place where we have partners who are no other but people who own websites. So they have so they give us access to their inventory on their site. So I'm sure all of you own multiple websites. So in that, you can decide the kind of ads you want to show. It could be text ads, image ads. It could be with Google AdSense. It could be with one network. It could be across networks. If you have your own direct ad sales team, it could be that. So the first part here is publishers, which is basically your own websites. And second, we have advertisers. We just had a walkthrough about Google AdWords. So basically, the AdWords inventory can also be shown on the display site, which was what we call Google Display Network. So those are the ads that can show up on partner websites. So how this works is there's an auction that takes place to determine which, please let me know if I'm talking too fast. There's an auction that takes place which determines which ad to show at which position and which place. So what happens in this case is we have a CPC model and a CPM model, which is basically cost per click and cost per 1,000 impressions. If anybody's in the current industry, you will know what these terms mean. Otherwise, it's just like how they sound. So what happens is there's an auction, and whoever wins the auction gets to show the ad first, and they normally end up paying the price of the second winner, not the first. This is to make the auction more fair and also reward higher quality score, like Vineet mentioned previously. Uprising, you know that you need invoices and stuff. The other thing is that Google handles all sorts of billing issues. It's one platform. You don't have to worry about money coming in from advertisers. You don't have to worry about ads being shown. So all of that is handled completely by Google. The right ad at the right time and the right price. So what this basically means is Google has multiple features. Like if you notice, we have features like remarketing. We have inter-category marketing, which basically means advertisers can target specific set of advertisers on people's websites. Like say if I own a website which talks about sports. So an advertiser who's either selling sports equipment or has sport therapies can try and show up on my site with a particular price they pay. Then we also have things like the highest number of advertisers. In India, primarily this is very true because we are primarily the largest online advertising network in India. So the inventory is huge in terms of advertisers. In terms of ad formats, we offer everything, which is rich media, text, image, expendables, all sorts of ad formats. Next, we have customizable text ads. So basically, you can choose the kind of ads you want to show. It can either be text ads, image ads. You can adjust the kind of color scheme that you have. For some text units, you can even play with the text sizes that you have, font sizes as well. So next we have things like the kind of ad inventory that we offer. We have contextual creatives. Contextual is basically looks at the theme of the content and shows ads based on that. And then we have expendables. Expendables is something which is not very famous in India unless you're on TOI. TOI has loads of expendables all over the site, right at the top right, pretty much everywhere. Then we have pre-rolls, post-rolls, interstitials. These are all video ad formats. And then we have video overlay ads. Key benefits of Google AdSense. Sure. Sure. So pre-roll and post-roll is basically, it runs before the actual video content. Overlay is on the video. It's like how YouTube has those ads at the bottom when the ad is also playing, when the video itself is playing. So one is before the actual video content, the second one is along with the video content itself.
I'm sorry to interrupt. If there's any other questions, if there's any question at any point, make sure you just walk towards the mic stand so that everybody is audible. Thank you.
Key benefits of Google AdSense. Hassle-free revenue, maximum revenue for every impression, high customization, continuous innovation, focus on the user. So if any of you are a publisher or own a website where you currently show ads, you will see that there are multiple ad networks and different networks in the country itself. So the kind of revenue that we offer is definitely among the best. We have the highest number of inventory, like we said. So there are certain networks which can provide slightly more than what we do, but the kind of fill rate is basically the number of times they requested for an ad and the number of times they actually show an ad. So basically, if an ad is called for us 100 times, we show ads at least 99.8% of the times. Whereas other networks in India are known to have maybe a 40% fill rate. So if you call for an ad from their site, maybe 100 times, you'll probably get it like 30 or 40 times. So in that way, AdSense is definitely the top ad network in India easily. Continuous innovation, we keep working on different types of ad formats, different types of ad sizes. In fact, we actually might have a few new ad sizes coming up in the next 2 quarters, which is about 6 months, so watch out for that. Focus on the user. All Google products, the main thing is always focus on the user. We get questions about spam, about invalid click activities, how publishers ask us things like, how should I keep my site, how do I get more money? The number one answer for all of this is, imagine yourself in the place of your user. The only reason why someone actually comes to your site is to read the content. So as long as the content is key, the content is king. So as long as you have valid content, genuine content, which makes sense for the user to come to your site, everything is perfectly fine. Access to largest pool of advertisers. So we have hundreds of thousands of advertisers right from AdWords. But the other thing that a lot of people might not know is we have something called Google Certified Ad Networks, which we call GCAN internally. So this gives access, these are networks that are signed up with us, both in India and abroad. So these are networks who have deals with us, where basically they also bring in some ads sometimes when we don't have ads to show, or if it's in particular for specific countries, like if you're an Indian site, like say I'm indiancookery.in. My users don't have to be only from India. My users could be from any part of the world. I could have someone coming to my site from Sweden. Me as Google might not have ads to show for a Swedish language, but one of our networks could. So in that way, we have multiple networks signed up with us. Better targeting for advertisers means money to you. So like I said, content is king. It also, targeting is the main reason why advertisers choose online advertising as a platform in itself. Like how Vineet mentioned, targeting as well as reporting. So in this case, we have multiple targeting options. We have contextual targeting, which is primarily looking at the content on the page and we show ads based on that. Placement targeting. Like say if I'm an Airtel and I want to show an ad on say labnol.org. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Labnol owned by Amit Agarwal. So if I'm an Airtel and I want to show an ad directly on his site, and normally if the CPCs are say maybe 5 cents, I'm just quoting random numbers, is 5 cents, which is less than 5 rupees. So, but if I'm an Airtel, he would also want me to pay more. So the placement targeting will enable me as Airtel to target his site directly, say maybe at a higher price. Instead of paying 5 rupees normally, I might end up paying 10 rupees or maybe 12 rupees. So placement targeting helps advertisers reach pages or websites that they want to. Next thing is inter-category marketing is what we have. ICM is what we call. So basically, every time you go online, so we have something called Google Preferences. So Google knows the kind of sites that you visit. So it buckets you under certain categories. So now the advertisers have access to target those particular categories. Like say, Google might classify me as someone male aged between 20 to 30, interested in sports, music, whatever. So that kind of information to advertisers is great because someone like an Airtel trying to target me will be brilliant. Whereas if it's going to be someone like a P&G for I don't know, for some random toiletry, I might not be the right audience because they might want to choose a younger audience or a audience which is primarily women. So they can do all of that. So the next thing is remarketing. Remarketing is a really cool feature. What this does is it tells the advertiser, so-and-so visited your site in the last 30 days but didn't buy anything. So what we can do is you can actually show a separate ad or a specific ad to them. Like say if I make my trip and I see person X has come to my site in 30 days, but they never came back, they never bought anything. And I also know for a fact that he looked at Bombay Delhi tickets. So what I can do is I can go to the extent of showing him cheaper Bombay Delhi tickets the next time he comes onto my site. Well, advertising innovations, more buyers, new formats, better targeting, better insights. Point 1 to 3 I've already covered, better insights. Like AdWords itself, like how you saw, reporting, insights and metrics is key for most Google products. You can get information about the number of page views, the number of impressions you've got, number of people who came to your site, the number of ads were shown on your site, the number of people who came from a specific website or from a specific country. You can break down your traffic in terms of how many people came to your site from mobiles versus how many of them came from tablets versus how many of them came from desktop devices. So you can break down all that. You can always complement your ads with, you can always complement your direct ads. So if a lot of the larger publishers, like say even news sites or even your, I can give you live examples like DNA India, way2sms.com, all these websites, they have their own sales teams as well, which go out there and bring in ads at really high rates that even you and I will not even think of. So, but what you can do is when they have ads to display, what you can do is you can complement those ads with Google AdSense. So like in this case, if you see, this is New York Times, and they have that huge ad on the right. And under that, you see text ads, which are actually provided by Google. So you can either show Google ads on your site, but if you also have a direct sales team, or if you have a presence, or if you have a brand, you can actually send people out there and get ad inventory for you. So in this way, what you can do is you can complement that those particular ads as well. Next is ad approvals. Yes.
Sir, why way2sms is showing ads from other networks, and why their AdSense account not getting back?
So with AdSense, there is no rule that you cannot show or you cannot use any other network. So with any Google product, we do not have any particular tie-in period. We don't have any tie-in rules saying that you have to use only Google AdSense. You can feel free to use any network. It could be maybe a Comely, it could be a Tribal Fusion, or like I mentioned, if you have your own direct sales team, you can feel free to use any network out there. We don't try and pull down any publisher. So if you want to use multiple networks, please feel free to. Next, we have stringent ad approvals. So I think Vineet had mentioned that when he started in Google, he had started as someone who used to approve ads. So we do have automated ways which flag ad content. So with the number of advertisers that we have, a lot of adult-themed ads do come in. So what happens is we have systems in place that try to catch these ads based on specific triggers and all that. But for some cases, when it gets flagged, they need to be manually reviewed. So we actually have a large number of people who actually look at ads, whether they're text ads or image ads, flash ads, video ads, who manually review them to make sure that the audiences receive only family-safe content. So like say if today if I go create an AdWords account, I can go ahead and create an ad. Say I'm selling shoes, but I can go there and link it to a porn site. So we actually have people in place who actually go ahead and ensure that the kind of ad text and the landing page are actually relevant and it is valuable content, because we don't want to break the association that we have with our users. Users are always key for any Google product. Then we have continuous improvements on every system that we have, whether it's contextual, whether it's placement targeting. In fact, with AdSense, we have a special feature which is called page URL. So what this does is, if you own a vernacular website, it could be a Hindi site, Marathi site, Tamil site. So our systems are not built to recognize non-English language content. So what we do in this place is, if you own an equivalent site in English which has similar content, we can actually use that English site's URL to show ads on that other website that you have. How this is helpful is because it improves your targeting. It gives you higher paying ads that show up on this site. But the only catch for that is you have to own both the websites. You can't own indiannews.in and then try to show ads from BBC because you don't own the other side. So you have to make sure you own both the sites. AdSense policies. Place ad code only on family safe sites like I mentioned, which is basically sites that you would like to look at with your family or you would want your family to see. Avoid accidental clicks or unnatural attention. So what a lot of people do is they'll go ahead, they'll create their website, they'll get their AdSense account, and then the entire website is only ads, which is of no use to anybody. I'm sure you have come up and seen sites that we call made for AdSense, MFA, which don't add any value to anybody. Neither the user, nor the advertiser, nor the publisher, yes, because they will make some money for it, from it. But that will not last, because we have policies in place that will definitely catch these kind of sites and penalize them. Content is king, like how I've always been stressing. Best targeting results, copy AdSense code exactly as it is. So in the AdSense account, you can go ahead and generate code. Do not make any changes to it. Don't try to change the publisher code. So it's a unique number that is given to every publisher. Don't try to change that. Don't try to make any changes to the code because the default code works the best. Don't create multiple accounts. So we get a lot of people who try to go ahead and create, one person. So our rule is one person can have only one AdSense account for a specific payee name. So we have actually a lot of people who go ahead, like say if my name is Harguneet, I'll go ahead and try creating it with Harguneet, maybe Harguneet Singh, Harguneet Sabarwal, which is my last name, and all sorts of things like that. So it's always better to just create one account because that is the policy. Yes? As long as you're just transferring the code, it's fine. No physical changes to the actual code. No changing in the JavaScript, basically. Next, we have common violations, which is basically sites, like I mentioned, MFA, made for AdSense, sites which don't have any content. They just show ads on it, try to drive traffic to it, and make money off of it for some time. To be very honest, they can get away with it for some time. But our systems are actually very smart systems. They keep learning from different signals. They keep picking up new signals. So within some time, you will definitely be caught and your account will even be suspended. It can also go to the case where if your account is suspended and you're terminated for illegal click activity, it might be difficult for you to ever get an AdSense account ever again. So please be careful with, with the kind of traffic and the quality of clicks that you get. Aggressive ad implementation of sites with no content. We also see sites where the moment you open the page, the only thing you see is ads, and at the bottom maybe it will have one line. So definitely sites like that are a big no-no. Mature content, no adult content, because it's a Google violation as well as a Government of India violation. So in that way, you have to definitely stay safe. AdSense features. Placement targeting, like I mentioned, basically where people can pay more to show on a specific site. Image and rich media ads. This is super favorite in most of Asia Pacific, especially in Japan, because people over there look at very rich content. You will find ads which are shining, and you have things moving around in your standard ad sizes itself. The interest-based advertising is very similar to interest category, like I mentioned. You can show ads based on specific topics. And then next we have Google certified ad networks, is what we already mentioned, where we also have a supply of ads from different networks. The next important thing, if you notice in the bottom left, is called update your ad planner listing. So with Google, we have something called the Google Ad Planner, which is an external tool. How this is helpful is basically if you're a publisher, if you own websites, you can go there, sign in with your account. You can go and mention, okay, I have a 300 by 250 ad unit, which is on my website on this page. How this is helpful is because an advertiser, if he's looking to target your particular site, he can go to the extent of saying, okay, I'm Airtel, I want to target so-and-so website. But he can also go on to the level of saying, okay, I want to target a particular ad size, I can target a particular page. Like say if I want to target ESPN, I may want to target ESPN / a particular sports person's name, a particular cricketer's name, and then maybe on his bio, instead of a particular news that just broke in terms of cricket. So you can actually go ahead and fill up that. It's called the Ad Planner. It's a free tool. You can always, it also gives you traffic data for your site and other websites. It's all only if the website owner has approved it. So Next thing, so this one question that we get from a lot of people is, okay, if I am indiacooks.in, but there is a competitor out there called indiachef.in, I don't want their site to show up. I don't want any other cooking site to show up. So we actually let you block out competitors either by URL. So you can just go into our front end, mention the URL. If you're going to block someone, preferably block them with the www and without. You can also go ahead and block categories. Like say you can just go there and right away block out things like cooking, games, dating, politics. So that will filter out the kind of ads that will show on your site. Next we have review ads and advertiser targeting your site. So this is basically whenever someone tries to placement target your site. Like say if I am a sunflower oil and I want to target tarladalal.com, but they don't want me to show this ad on their site. Either because they want me to come to them directly at a higher price, or because they're already running a Daldaka ad which they don't want some other competitor to show up. So in this, they can actually go ahead and block by specific creators. Like if I'm going to placement target them, they can actually block the placement targeting itself. Then you can also block or allow advertisers. You can do all sorts of blocking, all sorts of filtering out. I'll just skip this slide. So basically, you can look at advertiser advanced reports. So just like all Google products, it gives you insane amount of reporting. It gives you the number of impressions, the number of ad impressions, page impressions, where your site, where your traffic came from, all sorts of data, metrics, everything is available. AdSense monetization options. So we have AdSense for content. AdSense for content is primarily for any website which has content. These can be text ads and or image ads. Then AdSense for search. So AdSense for search is basically you can use Google custom search engine, which lets you make your own search box. So with this, what you can do is you can either let the user search content within your website or search content across google.com. With AdSense for search, what you can do is if you have a lot of people who come to your site and search for specific queries, you can actually monetize that. So what that means is if I am coming on, say maybe person X's site, and I'm looking for cars and I see ads and search results, and if I click on the ad, the publisher who owns that site and has implemented AdSense for search will actually make money from that. So if you own if you own sites which get good traffic, which get a lot of search queries on a daily basis, please go ahead, sign up for an AdSense account. You can definitely monetize all of that. Then AdSense for video, AdSense for mobile content. AdSense for video is, like I mentioned, for video content. You can show ads, inlay, overlays, all of that. AdSense for mobile content is basically you can show ads on your mobile websites. So like Vineet had mentioned that mobile is the next big thing. I can give you one number since everybody is throwing numbers. So in the next 2 or 3 years, 200 million of the next users are expected to be from mobile and from tier 2 cities. So that's a huge target audience, especially if you're looking at non-English content. So the next 200 million people on the internet in India are going to be from non-English speaking cities and primarily through their mobile phones. So if you have business ideas, definitely think along those lines. It might not pay right away, but in the next 2 years, that is the place to be. These are the kind of ad sizes that we have. So these are all IAB standards, Internet Advertising Board standards, 728 by 90, 300 by 250, 336 280s, image, flash, all basic formats. So any of the networks that are there outside will all have pretty much the same ad formats and ad sizes. And these are some of the top publishers that they have. A lot of these guys earn a lot of money. Some of them earn so much that I'm sure you can't even think about on a daily basis as well. So if you own a website which has good content, has good number of people coming to it daily or even monthly, please go ahead. You can actually monetize that. You can make money off of that as well, and it also adds value to users. So if your users will actually be more, it makes more sense for them as well if they see ads as well. So in that way, please. Next, we have other publisher solutions. This is basically for large publishers, for people who have things like if they show ads from across networks or if they have direct ads. We have something called DoubleClick for publishers, which is basically it's an ad serving mechanism. So if you get ads from different advertisers, different networks, different agencies, this is a free product which can let you control what ad to show when. Like say if I get 100,000 people on my site on a daily basis, I can control maybe for the first 50,000 show AdSense ads, for the next 50K people show ads from a different network, or show ads from a different from one of my direct advertisers. So you can actually balance all that out. So that's primarily DoubleClick for partners. We also have a new tool called Google Ad Exchange, which has started recently. We have very few publishers, only some major publishers are making use of that right now, but that should open up for all publishers very soon. So next thing we have here is part of DoubleClick, DFP, DoubleClick for publishers. It's called Small Businesses, which is a free product. So basically, this lets you look at fulfillment and scheduling, which is basically the number of ads you can show is to the number of users that you have. Then if you have a contract with someone to show ads for maybe 50,000 people in a day, you can deliver those ads for the first 50,000 or to the last 50,000 in a day, and then you can switch between different networks. Normally, you would have to do this manually by changing code, but with DFP, you can do all of this automatically. So our system will take care of it. You just have to mention it. So you have something called line items, where you go and set it up, and it will do it automatically depending on either the order in which you give it, or you can actually do things like competition. Here we talk about, with the line item, you can do targeting based on OSs and browsers, on your ISPs, on targets. So basically, if I'm going to show an ad on somebody's site which is about technology, I can target my ads. I can tell him, okay, with DFP, please show my ads only to people coming from India. I don't want people from the US to see my ad. So you can do all those kind of settings. You can choose whom to show your ad, whom not to show your ad, which kind of ad to show. This is one of the most important and interesting features with DoubleClick. So this is called dynamic allocation. To keep it it's actually a very complicated funda, but to keep it simple is the easiest way to remember is you can actually do live competition between network A versus network B. So basically, if I'm the publisher, I own a website, and I have I'm using Google AdSense and maybe a Comely. So I can do a real-time, I can do competition between the two. So I say, for this instance, if Google AdSense is going to pay me 50 cents, then show Google AdSense, otherwise show Comely or a Tribal or whichever network, or even a direct ad. So what this lets you do is it helps publishers maximize the kind of revenue that they can make. So normally, if they were going to make 30 rupees, with this, you can ensure that that 30 rupees gets converted to 50 rupees. Because you're building competition, you're building auction pressure, you're building pressure and demand for your inventory. So this is basic demand and supply. So in that way, it definitely can result in additional revenue for publishers. And that is pretty much it. So these are useful links. Any questions, anybody? Yes. What about AdBlock?
The fact that we can't display our ads to people using AdBlock, and since so many of them have installed their entire browsers.
It's a humble request once again. If you could walk towards the mic, it'll be great. It's just 2 steps from there. Just walk towards the mic so that everybody is a part of your question. Thank you.
Yes.
What do we do with AdBlock?
I can hear you, no worries. So you basically mean any of those extensions that let you block ads. There's nothing we can do because it's a user choice. If someone has gone ahead and installed an ad blocker, there's not much that you can do. Because that's the choice that they have made, and they've gone to the next step of going ahead and installing an ad blocker. So we definitely won't, we can't target ads on those.
And I have another question. Does Google have any policy? For example, sites like Microsoft or DateWrite, they have spoken about in their blogs displaying a different version of their website or their blog to people using AdBlock. So does Google have any policy on that?
No, we have no policy of that sort. As long as you're, if you're using our ad code on your site, then the ad will definitely show. If you're not using our ad code on the site and you're showing a different version of the site, we don't have any objection because we have no connection with that particular site, right? Because you on the site, you can choose how to show it to your users.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Hello. My question is regarding the AdSense, blocking the AdSense accounts and all such things. I had an AdSense account long ago. My mother is a food blogger, and I used to publish ads on her site. I don't know how. One day, suddenly, it got blocked and all. it was banned. And after that, I did all the procedures to prove that it was not done from my side. Sure. Okay, I know the user experience and all such things, Google ensures the customer. But at times, it's really harassing for the publisher, because I have not done anything, because, you know, sure, I had earned 0 from it. Okay, sure. So I don't, I'm not like, I can't explain it. But since, is there any solution I can prove Google like, yes, I have not done it? Because since I cannot get an account again.
Sure. So we actually have a reconciliation form. Just feel free to go ahead.
I did it, but
sure,
because Google does not understand what actually I mean. Because you know, like suppose I am a blogger and X is also a blogger.
Sure.
Okay, and suppose X clicks on my site ads purposely or impurposely, anyhow. Sure. Okay, how can I prove Google that I didn't do it?
So let me give you some more background about that. So whenever anybody says, okay, what happens if someone else clicks on my site, or someone wants to click and, you know, make it seem like I'm doing it intentionally. So we actually have knowledge in the sense that we know which IP is clicking, whether it's one click, whether it's multiple clicks, whether it's a bot that is actually clicking. So we have all that intelligence. So in that way, it's definitely not possible that someone else is trying to click on your ads again and again, because we will detect the IP and we will filter out all those clicks. Because from an advertiser point of view, if an ad is found to be spammy or has click issues, we don't charge the advertiser. If we don't charge the advertiser, we don't pay out the publisher. So in that way, we have a whole bunch of systems. There must have been some other reason, or there must have been some particular signal why your account was suspended. Feel free to send an email to adsense-support@google.com. Someone will definitely look into it.
I had 2 questions. First question, he has already asked, because my AdSense account has been blocked twice. Sure. And now 3rd time I'm not getting approved.
It'll get blocked again.
Okay. My next question is that I started a blog and the traffic on it increased in 2 months. I mean, the traffic was too much. I mean, it was beyond what I was expecting.
Sure.
So I think that second time when my AdSense account got blocked, can it be because of this reason? That it was a simple blog. I was writing just about products. I was just writing the configurations and nothing else. So can that be a reason?
It can be, but it again depends on where the traffic is coming from, because we have policies against paid traffic. So you have something called link share. I don't know if you're familiar with it. So basically, you can actually, if I'm a big website,
I went to the Google Analytics and I saw that from where all the traffic was coming, and traffic was totally random.
Okay.
I mean, it was not from any.
So as long as it's genuine traffic, then there won't be any connection between the two. The reason why a sudden spike in traffic can cause an account being shut is because if you buy traffic from sources which are called link share. So basically, you can go tell them, okay, I'll pay you this much.
Link share, those ads that come.
No, so link share is basically so how Google and other search networks and search engines work is. So based on the kind of incoming volume or incoming traffic that you get from a known site, like say if today you are writing an article and you are linking that to say maybe a Times of India, for you that will not make too much. For Times of India, it will not make too much difference. So maybe an xyz.com is linking to it. But tomorrow, if a Times of India links to your site, and if they publish an article and saying, okay, this is the original source, that will do a lot to your search engine rankings. So that can cause a spike in your traffic, and that can be a signal in terms of your account being shut. So they definitely are not related. In your instance, it could be it just could be completely different instances.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Like you mentioned, Google has certain practices in place to detect people clicking on their own ads or having their friends or someone click their ads.
Sure.
What if someone is using a proxy? I mean, certain proxies do pass on the original address, bypass the proxy to ad networks. But what if someone is using something like Tor or UltraSurf or I2P or something? Those are designed to hide the origin IP?
So we do have technology in place for all those kind of proxy hiding and masking and all that. I can't tell you what it is because it's just letting out signals, and it makes hackers and people trying to fool the system life much easier. So we definitely have a lot of things in place. So even tunnels, like you mentioned, tunnels and masking, it's all in the cards. I mean, I'm sure you can all give Google some credit. I'm sure we do quite well. So.
But I was actually doing some research into this because a friend of mine, I am not particularly into AdSense, but he has about 7 years experience with AdSense, 5 or 7 years experience with AdSense. And he was telling me that a lot of his traffic someday will all be from Germany, someday it'll all be from Sweden, or something like that. And he said some of his friends have confessed to actually doing it through Tor, just for the fun of it.
That's fine. I mean, how many will you do? I mean, how much traffic will you send out like that? Maybe 1,000, 2,000 people, or even in terms of page views, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I mean, unless you get it in the tens of thousands, it doesn't make too much of a difference. So in that way, there's no way that they will game the system. And our systems, like I mentioned, are always evolving. We always have signals that we keep looking at. If any of you are savvy, you might have heard of search-based changes that Google has made, like Panda, Penguin. So we're always looking at signals, we're always incorporating things. So if, like you mentioned, over the 7 years, Google has missed out any of those signals, it's on the card. So it'll definitely get caught.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Sir, how to take high CPC ad on a website?
So there's no particular way of getting high CPC ads. Trying to do any of those things is definitely illegal because it could cause your account to get suspended. So don't try to get any particular ads by doing something called keyword stuffing and all of that.
Sir, Google is showing ads relevant to content. For example, I do have one mobile website, and other one is the text-based SMS website. I have placed images relevant to mobile, and it should be showing high-end mobile devices ad. But I am getting less CPC ads.
So CPCs again depend. It can be seasonal. It can depend on the kind of traffic. If you get a lot of traffic from the US or from European countries, your CPCs will automatically go high. Because in India, the average CPC is about what, maybe 10 to 15 cents, whereas in the US, it ranges in the dollars. So it again depends on where your traffic is coming from, where your users are actually from, and seasonality as well.
Hi, how do you plan to promote mobile AdWords? Because considering the fact that even company like Facebook, they are struggling to improve their mobile advertising, and most of the users are accessing
mobile AdWords. Mobile.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even if someone wants to promote their content or anything online.
So this, I don't know if you were paying attention, but this was for AdSense and not AdWords, which are completely different products. But with AdWords, what I can tell you is we do have targeting options where you can target at particular users on mobile phones. Was that your query, or what exactly was your query?
On mobile phones,
So you can actually target, if you're an advertiser, you can actually target high-end mobile phones, you can target websites. So the AdWords account itself has options where you can choose whether you want your same ads to show on WAP-enabled phones, whether you want the same ads, text or image to show on high-end phones. You can actually break that down. You can also use AdWords and AdMob to target ads on AdMob applications. So in that way, mobile is definitely the next big thing, and we actually have mechanisms. I mean, if you sign up with AdWords, you'll definitely see that you have those options of targeting different types of mobile phones. It even goes to a certain extent where you can target specific operating systems. Like you can go down to the level of saying, okay, show this ad to anybody on iOS. Then you can choose to iOS version 4, version 5, version whatever. So you can actually break it down to that level as well. So AdWords definitely has those options as well.
Sir, how Google is resizing premium web publisher? What are the criteria to become a publisher?
So anybody can become a publisher. You can sign up on Google AdSense.
I'm not asking. I'm asking to become a premium web publisher.
So there is nothing called premium AdSense. It's a very, very common misconception that there is something called premium AdSense or a premium publisher. It's only that there are certain features that some publishers are given. But that again depends on the kind of traffic that they have and that. And there is no specific number.
I have noticed that TechCrunch is a technical work. They're showing almost rich media ads. Almost every are animated. There might be over $3 CPC.
So again, TechCrunch shows AdSense ads, yes, but they also have other networks. So it's a combination. And there is no specific way, and it again depends on the market. Like US definitely has more expendables, more rich ads. In India, it's still catching up because in India, from an advertiser point of view, advertisers still want to pay 10 rupees and 15 rupees. But from the US point of view, their CPCs are at 50 rupees, 60 rupees, 70 rupees, 100 rupees even. So in that way, it's all demand and supply. Unless advertisers start pumping in those kind of ads, it won't be seen here. So.
Okay, thank you.
I have the same question about premium publishers. So what are the rough traffic you consider?
So there's no such thing as premium publishers. It's just that it depends on the kind of traffic that you get. There's no specific number, but it's definitely in the millions.
You see content quality or traffic?
Both. There's no point having a lot of traffic if it's fishy. So.
I just read some sites regularly, some jobs and career sites, which are gets 11 million or 11 million page views per month or that, and some sites are getting 2.3 million or 3 million page views. So sites are getting 3 million page views as premium publishers, and that's are not means. So means both the sites are have high quality contents. So what's the difference?
So there's no specific reason. So like I mentioned, there's no such thing as premium AdSense. It also depends on the kind of traffic that you have, the kind of user pattern. So we have some special features that we offer. We only offer to some publishers is because if it makes sense for them. The special feature does not mean that they will make more money. It just means that it's a value add to the users also. So if it makes sense to the users, then we give it to publishers.
And there is a suggestion from me to start a customer care line, because most of the time we email your support staff and they not reply to about 1 month.
Sure, I'll definitely let people know.
So this is very difficult to us.
Sure, I can let the right people know. So,
okay.
Any other questions?
Sir, last question.
We only have like a minute, so.
Last question. Sir, I am running one blog. I have read somewhere that Google is there should be a click rate for example 1,000 impression for 300 clicks. But currently I am having sometimes I am having 200 page views and 50 clicks on CPC, because I have placed ads inside the post in Blogger. There is some service there. They are pass the code and we can show the ad inside the code. This way I managed to get 200 impression and 50 clicks. Will I get banned from AdSense?
So it depends on how your ad is positioned. If it's wrapped with content in such a way that people can't distinguish what is content and what is ads, then yes. As long as there is a demarcation between the ads that you run and the content that you have, then it shouldn't be a problem. It basically depends on that ratio. So.
Last question.
Sure.
I'm running an AdSense account for the last 1 year. Okay, and it's like the basic information and the suggestion which I'll be getting is from my friends who are into the Googles, who are into media and everything.
Sure.
So I have 2 questions. One thing is that I have my account, Google AdSense account, and my brother want to apply. So as in you said that, multiple account, anything, it's not possible. But my brother wants to apply. It's his name, Sanjay Soni. So, and the address is same. The Google will accept it or not?
It will. It's only the payee name that has to be different.
It's payee name, that's it, right? Okay, and what if I go for the paid traffic? Is it like, is it applicable? Is it legal, or it's like?
So, like I mentioned, paid traffic is not something that we encourage. It's it's against our policy, because paid traffic just means that you're bringing in people unnecessarily. It doesn't mean that the people are genuinely interested in your content. Correct. And you're just trying to fool this Google system and trying to make money. So it's definitely a big no-no.
That was one of the suggestions was given by my friend.
Trust me, you don't want to do that.
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, fine, thank you.